Pokémon Crystal is one of the most classic and nostalgic games that has ever been released. Coming out in the year 2000 and being the successor to the games of Pokémon Red and Blue, it became an instant hit. Over time, this game has been afloat and is still quite popular and regularly played, but that does not mean that Pokémon ROM hackers have ignored it. Many variations and ROM hacks of this game have been made, but I do not remember any of them sticking out as much as the game known as Pokémon Liquid Crystal. A hack that has been around for over 7 years and is still considered among the best ROM hacks you can find. Trying to provide a complete recreation of Pokémon Crystal in a 3rd generation style, with beautiful graphics, amazing story additions and great features overall, Pokémon Liquid Crystal is still known as an all-time classic among the 3rd generation ROM hacks. Let's take a look at this game in 2021. Is it still considered a good ROM hack, and does it hold up among the popular ROM hacks today? Hey you! Yes, hi there, real quickly. If you like what you're seeing, consider subscribing. I upload ROM hack related content like this every week, so be sure to subscribe if you enjoy watching this. Thanks, let's get back to the video. Let's start off talking about the story. Pokémon Liquid Crystal actually surprised me a lot with their adaptation of the story, as I feel like it hit all the sweet spots in recreating the nostalgic feel of Team Rocket, while removing a lot of the stillness that the story of Generation 2 has gotten known for. The story has actually had a lot of monumental changes from the original games. Team Rocket is still the main evil team for the most part of the game, but around the mid-game you get introduced to another team that will play a much bigger role later. Here you meet Team Saturn. You do not get introduced to them very early, but you do meet some new people early in the game to introduce you to them, and you find out a lot more about these other characters you're meeting as well. Team Saturn starts to play a bigger role a bit later, around the beginning of the mid-game, where a lot of things progress a lot more and you get to know a lot more about the game in general. Team Rocket still dominates this game for the biggest part, but around the 8th gym leader, Team Saturn makes a comeback. I'm not here to spoil too much, but the way you move around these teams starts to get really interesting, and it makes the story a lot more interesting for me. For everything besides the main story, this game was insanely creative in my opinion. It managed to sneak in a lot of small things to give you more things to do and think about, like speaking to people from other regions to find out more about Team Saturn, or the flooding part of the story, which was inspired from the Rayquaza arc from Pokémon Emerald. Besides all of this, the story even manages to transfer itself to Kanto, where you continue upon the Team Saturn arc and learn a lot more about the game in general. I won't tell too much as to leave surprises to the player, but this game did not stop at finishing the Johto story. The overall characters you meet and the quests you have to do to continue on in the story sometimes was really intriguing to me and did a lot to distance this game from the original, despite still keeping its main story features. There were times where I felt like the game was trying to follow the original a bit too much, which made it a bit boring. But at the same time, you cannot fault the creators, as you are still literally playing a recreation of that other game. I absolutely love the story and the additions that were made. It made for a great element of surprise and showed a lot of creativity despite the overarching plot still being resonant of the original Pokémon Crystal. Pokémon Liquid Crystal definitely turns it up a notch when it comes to the battles of the game. There are some weird things about it, but it can still definitely give you a hard time. For the most part, the difficulty consists of a steeper, more balanced level curve that is still greatly improved over the original dumb level curve the 2nd generation Pokemon games featured, but that is definitely not all this game has to offer when it comes to the difficulty. First of all, you can really notice some effort that has been put into the battles you do. Pretty much every trainer you fight will show some level of creativity with their movesets, and almost all of them tend to use potions and healing items in battle as well. This gets a bit annoying over time, but I still like this addition as it gives the trainers some more resistance in the battles. Furthermore, the gym leaders and evil team bosses really spiced up their movesets a lot as well. Plenty of water-type Pokemon have ice-type moves to counter grass-types, and a lot of Pokemon have creative items to help them as well. This is nice and all, and it definitely gave me some surprises during battles, but the AI is still absolutely stupid sometimes. Pokemon will use useless moves on you for 5 or 6 turns in a row before doing something else, and that really diminishes the spice you get from heated battles, as it can turn into a grind fest. Putting good AI on trainers is hard, but this is still a little mediocre. I should do a video on some Drayano games sometimes. He knows a thing or two about good AI. Nevertheless, the way improved level curve and effort that has been put into your enemy teams can definitely give you some heat throughout the playthrough, and I really appreciate the effort that has been put into the difficulty of this game. When it comes to the features of this game, I must admit I wasn't too impressed initially. Compared to the crazy features that are present in ROM hacks these days, there aren't as many modern or quality of life features that people have come to expect today. I cut this game a lot of slack though, as it was obviously made a relatively long time ago, and I feel like it makes up for the quality of life things in other places. Pokemon Liquid Crystal expands amazingly on the map where you play. Once you get served, you really get the feeling that the whole map is entirely interconnected, as it should be, as you can serve to whatever places you like. A bunch of new places to explore have also been added to the map and really gives a whole nother dimension to the game. You can feel so much freedom as you're going through these areas. I really enjoyed this expansion upon the original games. Admittedly, the general features of this game are a little outdated when it comes to the things we expect of ROM hacks nowadays. A lot of common things from later generations are not present or are just not too smooth, like the evolution methods of trade Pokemon and the way things like poison work. Overall, this is not even that much of a negative, since none of these things were even mainstream in the ROM hacks from this age, and the lack of a lot of these modern features like reusable TMs, changed difficulty and power from HMs and other luxury of life things give some level of authenticity when playing this game, where you can still really feel that it's trying to remake an older game. The main feature though is the freedom you get very early on. You are able to move to places like Mahogany Town or other places on the map without doing a lot of the story already. Even though you cannot do anything there yet or progress at all, there is a certain feeling of freedom you get when you don't run into 5 billion NPC walls trying to go to every place you want. As said, once you get served, you can go wherever you please, and that is something I appreciate a lot. The outdated features that are without a doubt present in this game does not mean it doesn't have modern features at all though. You are able to check out your IVs with a certain guy, the physical special split is up and working, and there are a bunch of places where you get random Pokemon given to you, adding a feeling of excitement talking to every NPC you see. The features were alright. A bunch of them are outdated in this day and age, but you can't blame the creators too much for that, as it's obviously a pretty old game. The freedom I felt was the best part of the features, but that could also technically be put under the graphics or design part of the review. In general, the features didn't bother me too much, but some modernity would definitely be appreciated. I really like the way this game approached the graphics. It feels way more modern than the second generation games, but a lot of things still stay true to the original. First of all, the graphics in this game were very nicely done. The vibe of Johto is still very much present as all the cities and places are still in place, but everything still feels way more modern and you can really notice an effort into the design of this game in general. Every city is either the same or has expanded upon beautifully, extending the vibe of the city further and giving some more places to explore throughout the map. Every place has been given a lot more detail, really giving you more freedom in the cities, and that is not even extending to the interconnectivity you get once you get served, as that just brought the map and the vibe to another level. I have never felt the freedom I have felt in a Pokemon game before I played this game and discovered the map once you get the HM for serve. Everything felt insanely interconnected and it really felt like you were discovering a new map instead of the original Johto. The new spots and places that have been added give such an adventurous feel to the map. It felt as open world as I have ever seen from a Pokemon game. Spots like the Lost Woods or the Outskirt Island really give me incentive to do more exploring throughout the map instead of just mindlessly progressing through the game, as I was excited as to what else it would bring. Going over to Kanto, the same theme continues. The cities look absolutely beautiful and have been modernized and expanded very nicely. If there would be a remake of the original Pokemon Crystal on the Game Boy Advance, I would want it to look exactly like this. I am just really appreciative of the new look that Liquid Crystal managed to put on top of Johto, and it was always exciting to see a new city and how it was constructed and built. I have no complaints at all. Pokémon Crystal has definitely withstood the test of time. If you were looking for something nostalgic that would trigger some Generation 2 feelings, Pokémon Liquid Crystal is the game I would recommend. It's a game that adds enough things to the story, graphics and features for it not to be boring, but it still keeps the beautiful feeling of the old Game Boy Color games. You need to be in for a bit of an older game, but I have no doubt that this game holds up beautifully today. I will grade Pokémon Liquid Crystal with an 8 out of 10. It's an oldie, but it's a goodie. Alright, that was the review. Thanks everybody so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like, and if you are interested in more Pokemon ROM hack related videos, make sure to subscribe to my channel, as more is definitely coming in the future. Quick apology for the over a month of not uploading. I don't know, man, college has started. It's starting to get kinda busy in my life, but I really still want to keep this YouTube thing alive, so definitely more is coming in the future. But yeah, that was just a bit of an announcement. Alright, that was it. Thanks everybody so much for watching, and have a great day. What you